Hello, welcome to Insights in Action with Orange 142, where we interview agency leaders and business owners to uncover the journeys, the strategies, and the insights that drive their success. At Orange 142, we're all about transforming brand stories into impactful digital experiences through innovative media and marketing solutions. And today, I'm very lucky to be joined by Eric Morley of Blue Sea. How's it going, Eric?
Hey, good. Thanks for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would love to just start this off by learning a little bit more about your background, Eric. I know we come from the same area of San
Sure.
Diego, but I'd love to learn a little bit more about your background and a little bit more about Blue Sea.
Sure. So Blue Sea started in 1998, and we originally started as a travel and tourism and beverage industry. Our first client was Fremont Street Experience in Las Vegas, 13 casinos. Our objective is driving basically about 50,000 people per night there to experience that environment. Our second client back then was Absolute Vodka. And
Mm,
so it's a lot of distributor promotions and promotions based upon distributors, getting distributors to sell in for both on-premise and off-premise. And then we've gone on to do a lot in automotive, both on tier one, tier two focus. And Blue Sea is known heavily for our creative firepower. But then through the years is we created a thing called brand power. And brand power is an interesting framework for clients because what happens is that if you don't have absolute clarity in your brand, you're
mhm.
not going to really be able to take it to that next step. So we focus on brand development. Brand clarity is the first phase of it. The second phase is marketing and planning, marketing strategy and planning, very important. And then the third phase is what that creative campaign development is going to look like, what it's going to look like, how it's going to look like, and what is that messaging and so forth. And then the digital media and digital marketing side is next. And then social media and content development is the next part of it. And then the last part is scorecards and KPI management. Super important because if you're not, it's like going to school, going to elementary school without do you remember when you were growing up, you used to get the grades and stuff? Your teachers send you the grades and write you
Yeah,
those little letters and stuff. So imagine not going to school without that.
yeah,
Not going to know where you stand, right? Are
yeah.
you winning? Are you losing? What do you need to change and so forth? That's our sixth step of this framework on it. And it's called brand power. And a lot of companies come to us for the initial phase to start off with, which is either refreshing and modernizing their brand. Okay,
Mhm.
well, the brand needs a new look, new feel, new messaging, and so forth. And or maybe it's a brand new brand, or maybe it might be an extension to another brand.
Mhm.
And so very important to always remember that and always think about that and truly understand that if you don't go through these phases, go through this framework,
Yeah.
just doing marketing for the sake of marketing
Mhm.
versus marketing for a strategic initiative.
Yeah. And I was actually, as I was doing my research for this episode, I ran across, I think it was Business Wire that covered your guys' release of the brand power platform. And I'm curious, how has it impacted your clients' brand growth and market positioning so far? Like you seem to have created this repeatable process, this repeatable system. What's been the impact of that for your clients?
The impact is having 100% clarity,
Mhm.
having 100% understanding, getting everyone on the same page. And the biggest challenge for marketing departments is if you look back in history, is marketing departments used to play over here, sales used to play over here,
Mhm.
and C-level used to play over here, right? Now with where we are is everything's merged together. So
Yeah.
instead of being horizontal, it's a vertical initiative, right? And
Mhm.
so what this does is you've probably seen this is you're talking to a client and all of a sudden the client says, "Oh, our CEO's daughter said we should do this."
Mhm.
And it's like,
Mhm.
"Hey, we got to do that. We got to do that. We got to do that."
Yeah.
What happens in a case like that is you don't have clarity. You're doing stuff out of reaction
Yeah.
versus actually moving forward on it. And it's very important. And so what this does is it keeps everyone in alignment. And the thing about it is that I go to the sixth phase of the framework is the scorecards.
Mhm.
Okay, this makes sure that is that our marketing initiative is not just doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff, but we're all on the same page. We're shooting for that same destination. And it's if someone goes sideways off the path work, you can say, oh no, we need to get back into the clarity of things. Here's how
Yeah.
we're doing it. So
I love that answer because you answered it in a way that you talked about the external cohesiveness of what people perceive the brand to be once you get everything together, but you really focus on the internal cohesiveness and you really focus on the fundamentals or the foundation of like when things are cohesive internally between your departments and for your whole company brand wise, then that's how you are producing something externally that people can resonate with. Is that kind of the way you see it?
it is, but it's say a family member says, hey, I'm here.
Hmm.
I need you to drive out and we're going to have this amazing festivity, party, etc. And we also want all the other family members to come out and visit us too.
Hmm.
But here's the thing is you can't use a map, you can't use
Yeah.
your GPS, you just have to find us. And they always say it's like the fastest destination from A to B is a straight line, right? Same as marketing. And we also need to understand is marketing is infinite. It never ends. Where brands, you go to a restaurant, you order your meal, you pay for your meal, you leave, okay, that ends. Marketing is one of the few practices within a business that is extremely infinite. It's I always look at we've always joked as Monopoly. Do you remember playing Monopoly? It would go on and on, but there is an ending point, right?
Yeah.
Marketing keeps on going and it keeps on changing and it keeps on being relative on it.
Mm.
And the most important part is having clarity.
Hmm.
And we look at brands that understand what clarity is. Is their tonality in line? Is there, if you have everything in line, your voice, your tonality, your visual direction, your verbal direction, if all that is in alignment, you've got a vertical win. You don't have a
Yeah.
horizontal win where everyone's okay, I'm going to try to do this.
Mm.
So whenever we start with projects is we always start with a visual direction guide. And so that what does that happen is that makes it so everyone can actually go ahead and achieve success along the way by going to a guide on it. But yeah, that's what we
Wow,
do.
that's cool. I was, as you were talking about that, I was thinking about like how this would affect even on the micro level, things between sales and marketing. There's always that constant battle, right? Between like sales is always telling marketing, hey, you're not getting me good enough leads, and marketing saying, hey, you're not closing the leads I give you. And it's interesting how we look at brand and just that cohesiveness to solve an issue like that. When everybody's on the same page, I would imagine that it removes a lot of those things, which is really cool.
Yeah. I think the other thing we really need to understand is I go back as marketing is infinite now.
Mhm.
Is marketing used to be you place an ad, someone calls in, they place the order, they go. But the thing about it is that when you nurture leads and you're giving them content and you're giving them flow out there, they're very important because I might not want that product right now. And it's like shark repellent. It's like, hey, I got this shark repellent. You want to buy it? What are you going to say? No, right? It's okay. It's only $50, but I've got a coupon. We'll give you 50% off. So it's only $25.
Mhm.
You're not going to buy it.
Yeah,
But if you're in the water and there's sharks around you, you don't care what it's going to cost. You're just going to
yeah,
buy it because
yeah,
it's about the human action and reaction of need. You buy
yeah.
when you need things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a really good way to look at it. And then there's a famous quote that says, "Hey, if I was going to sell like or if I have hot dogs, I'm not looking for discounts or a really good offer or anything like that. The only thing I want is a really starving crowd, and that's how I know I'll be able to sell a lot."
It's funny you mentioned about the hot dogs is on that same thing is that I'm a huge music fan. I love seeing live music and we actually went to the Kia Forum up in LA and saw it was Interrupters, Sublime, and Dirty Heads a couple weeks
Nice.
back.
Oh
And
yeah.
we get out, my wife and I are walking out there and it's like you smell the Mexican dirty dogs out there, the whole thing. And I walk up to them and I said, "Whoa, how much are they?" $20. And I'm like, $20 for a hot dog. I just, you know what? I don't care how good that hot dog
Yeah.
is, it's not worth $20. But
Yeah.
then I'm getting close to the car and going, maybe I should have spent that $20 because it smells so damn good. But it's about need, wants, and desires.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely. And with over 2 decades in the industry, how has Blue Sea adapted to the evolving digital marketing landscape? And are there any key trends that you guys have embraced to maintain your guys' like relevance and effectiveness?
I think the key thing is that I'm very lucky. I have a business partner that is an amazing, he's considered one of the best in the industry.
Mm.
And he really understands how to create amazing creative with his team and push his team to do it like amazing work. He actually won Creative Director of the Year from the Ad Federation.
Oh,
And
wow.
so his whole thing is about, okay, what is that messaging and what is going to get people to really react? On
Mm.
my side is well, how are we going to follow that customer journey
Right.
is super, super, super important.
Mhm.
And what is that customer journey? And we really look at it really deep.
Mhm.
And when then it goes as well, and the customer journey is, okay, well, our target audience is this. What is the medias that are going to target those audiences? Okay,
Mhm.
what is the audience's likes and desires in that media?
Yeah.
But so you can say from social or even like connected TV, which we're like yourself, we're passionate about connected TV. I like the idea of having like close to 800,000 data points versus 8,000 data points.
Yeah.
And but the thing about it is what is going to connect with them? What is my audience is 13 to 18 years old. Don't show an old guy in it.
Yeah.
And if your audience is 40 to 60, show a younger person in it because they want to aspire to always saying that they are younger.
Yeah.
Very important. So,
That's really
it,
interesting.
it's that customer journey.
Yeah.
And then and I go back to brand power and why brand power really works
Yeah.
is brand power takes you through these questions.
Yeah.
And each and every aspect of brand power, it goes back to the KPIs and the scorecard.
Yeah.
Your mission statement finely tuned to target your audience. Have
Yeah.
you really defined your target personas? Have you really understood what that creative campaign is and how it's going to connect? And then on your
Yeah.
side is on our 142 side, I can package this up, say, here's everything, and then
Mhm.
you can make the media magic happen because exactly the target you're going for
Yeah.
versus, hey, you know what? I don't know if you've ever heard this. Is I used to hear it all the time. Is well, who's your target audience? Who you want to talk to? Oh, we sell to everyone. Okay,
Yeah.
we have an unlimited budget, and we're just going to have one big party, right? It's no,
Yeah.
and it's the thing about it is that, and I always encourage clients, whether you're working with Blue Sea or Orange 142, is that be as targeted, do your homework, really understand what your who your target audience is. How do they work? Who do they work? How do they think? If you're a franchise business and you're seeking new franchises, you know what? You need to be on LinkedIn. You need to
Yeah.
be communicating about franchise success and your messaging on that. You need to be focusing on the groups in it and so forth. And you have to keep driving that ongoing message and that new message and media out there. Very important.
Mhm.
And I always say it's, you know what, when you're really focused,
Yeah.
you have utmost clarity, you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
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 I've got this friend and she dated this guy for 8 years, totally fell in love with him. He crushed her heart, the whole thing. And then after she got on all the dating sites, but she had a one-page curriculum of exactly that guy.
Mhm.
And she would have the conversation with him. It's okay, you don't have hair. Okay, you're off. You always wear a baseball hat. No, not in that. She loves to travel. Oh, you don't travel? Okay, you're off the list. But she had clarity. And we always used to joke about it as, okay, don't just, you're probably missing some of these great people. She goes, I know what I want, and it's very important with me. And it's okay, well, yeah. But it actually worked out for her because she met this guy. checked every cross in the list on it, and they're happy living happily ever after,
Wow.
traveling the world. But to that point on it is that it's really interesting is if you have utmost clarity, you'll have utmost success. If you have vague clarity, what are you going to have? Vague success.
Great. That's a good, really good quote. I love that. This has been awesome, Eric. I feel like I learned so much myself. Where can people learn a little bit more about you, and where can people learn more about your agency?
So I always encourage people is listen to me, go to my LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn. Are we
Mhm.
connected yet?
I'm not sure, but I'll send you a request right after
Yeah,
this.
perfect.
Yeah.
Is and also at bluecusa.com
Okay.
is it's Blue Cusa. Is why did we do that? Because years ago someone had bluesea.com and it was always empty and we couldn't get it. So we said, okay, USA, that's what it is. But yeah.
Awesome.
So
That's
so that's
great.
kind of a little about Blue Sea.
Yeah.
You can see our everything starts from clarity to creative,
Mhm.
to the media. So there's that connection on it. And we always say it's like without you can have the greatest creative in the world, but if you're not pushing it out there in the marketplace, forget it. Or you can have the greatest digital media plan possible or integrated media plan possible. If you don't have the great creative, it's almost like that yin and yang doesn't work.
Yeah. That's a really good point. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on, Eric.
No worries. All right. Thanks.
Thanks.